Welcome back to another video. This is your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. In today's video, we're going to talk about a bunch of things. The first thing that I want to address is how can you get a free $1,000. I also want to address why so many people, and possibly over 10 million people, will not receive their first $1,200 stimulus check and what you can do to fix that if that's you. And the last thing that we want to talk about is the second stimulus check and what it might actually contain. What are the details? What might it look like? All right, those are the three things I want to address in today's video. If you have questions on any of those things, or if you have questions that you want me to answer in an additional video, let me know down in the comment section below and I'll get to those in a following video. Last thing that I ask, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It just tells YouTube this is a good video. You should share it with other people. So the first thing that I want to address before I get to what the second stimulus check might look like, there are many Americans, over 10 million Americans right now, as of creating this video, okay, June 24th. As of creating this video, there's over 10 million Americans that have not received their first $1,200 or $500 stimulus check. And so what can we do about that? Well, the IRS has stated multiple times, and again just recently, they are worried that many Americans will not receive their first stimulus check simply because they don't know how to get a hold of that person. They don't know where to send or issue a check. So if the IRS does not have a bank account that they can send you your check through, then they will send you either a debit card or they'll give you or send you a paper check. But in order to give you a paper check or a debit card, they have to have a physical address they can mail that card or check to. If they don't have that, then all they can really do is wait for you to contact them and tell them, hey, this is where I am, please send me the check. So if you haven't done that, I recommend you do that now. Now, I just want to be 100% clear. The money for the stimulus payments will not run out. It's always going to be there. You will receive your check as long as it hasn't been issued already. Okay? With that said, I want to give you a little bit of a warning. What's going to happen pretty soon, probably towards August, is the IRS is going to be back into their normal routine. They're not going to be doing a lot with stimulus checks unless it's the second stimulus check and they have to send out payments. So here's the problem. Once the IRS goes back to, working on their backlog of federal tax returns or some other business that the IRS does, the problem, they're not going to have those, the 3,500 or 3,600 agents specifically there to answer your questions. So if you haven't received your first stimulus check and you call the phone number, chances are you might have to wait hours or days to get a hold of somebody simply because they won't have that many people answering the phones anymore. They will be moved to something else. So with that said, call the IRS now and figure out, hey, where's my first stimulus check? What can I do? In some cases, it's as simple as, oh, I didn't have your name spelt right, so the bank would not accept the payment. Or I didn't have your address correct because I was trying to send a check to, let's say, 1515 North 1st Street when it was 1515 West 1st Street or North 1st Avenue. Okay, it has to be identical or else the IRS will not send out your check or your debit card. So make sure that's correct, get it fixed, call the IRS and figure out, hey, where's my check? The next thing that we need to address is what might the second stimulus check actually look like, or what might the next stimulus package for American people actually contain for the American people. What could we expect? Now, in the video that I did yesterday, and I'll put that in the description box below, it will be the first link down in the description box below where I talk about Donald Trump and how he confirmed that yes, we are sending a second stimulus check. Now, Donald Trump confirmed that. Okay, many people have said that that is the goal, is to get people the money that they need, get it in their hands as quickly as possible. But again, this was a confirmation. This wasn't passed by the Senate. It's not coming tomorrow. This was just a confirmation that yes, they are working on a second stimulus check for the American people. But again, what is that going to look like? How much is it going to be? When will it come? Here are the facts that we know. Donald Trump stated yesterday in the exact same interview that we will know in the coming weeks. We'll have more information. He also stated that they are working on multiple plans in regards to the stimulus package. Not just stimulus checks, stimulus package. I want to be 100% clear. I want you to really understand this. A stimulus check is a check written to an individual. A stimulus proposal or stimulus package is the whole package. It includes the check. The check's just a little portion of it, little pint-sized piece. They got the package, this $1 trillion package that covers a bunch of different things. Okay, he's talking about both, and they're not apples to apples. Got apples to oranges over here. Okay, you need to understand that. Now, what many people have already stated, and we know this is not anything new, is a $1,200 stimulus check, stimulus payment to a person, a single person, is not going to get them very far. However, that same $1,200 stimulus check to, let's say, a family of 5, for example, my family, it's myself, my wife, and our 3 kids, family of 5, if we each receive $1,200, that's $6,000. Okay? I can tell you right now, my expenses, my household, my business expenses are different. Okay, that's separate. But my household expenses do not exceed $6,000 in a month. They don't even exceed $3,000 in a month. Okay? I try to keep my expenses very, very low. So for somebody like me and my family, we don't need $6,000. But at the same time, if the government were to give us $6,000, we're not going to be like, oh no, I don't want that money. You're going to take it, and we're going to do whatever we want with it. Right? That's just the way it works. But there are people out there that don't have that luxury, that need that $1,200, an additional $1,200, and maybe an additional $1,200 after that. $3,600 is what they need to get through for 2 months. My family and I, we do not need that much money to get by for 2 months. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there because this is what I expect. Now, let me read. I have a bunch of notes here. I went through a bunch of different articles, a bunch of different videos, a bunch of different interviews, a lot of things today. And I have, I don't even know how many pages of notes, probably 15 to 20 pages of notes here. But in my notes, it's been stated multiple times, okay, that even though Donald Trump stated that we will get a second stimulus check, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin stated just yesterday, after Donald Trump confirmed that we will receive a second stimulus check, Steve Mnuchin stated that they will put an emphasis on giving stimulus checks to people who need it more than others. Now, I just mentioned, my family doesn't need a stimulus check. Would we take one? Yes. Do we need it? No. So here's what I think is going to happen. Because again, we already know $1,200 stimulus check just doesn't cover enough, especially for a single person, even a family of 2, it just doesn't work. Now, there have been multiple high-level officials that have stated that the income threshold for the first round of stimulus checks was really not fair. But it was just quick and easy, and that is why the IRS went forward with that plan, which, again, we all are grateful for the $1,200. We just wish it would have been more, right? That's all we're really asking. So now that the IRS has a system in place, it's easy for them to send money. At the push of a button, they can send money to a bank account very quickly, very easily, and it could only just take days. Now that they have that in place, it makes more sense now, this is from multiple high-level officials, it makes more sense now to give varying levels of stimulus payments. So, let me give an example. People who, and again, this is an example, and nothing like this has been talked about publicly, has been discussed publicly. This is not a proposal. This is just my example for you based on reading through the lines and trying to dissect the information that everybody is putting out there. So my example would be people that earn over $100,000, an individual that earns over $100,000, kind of going back to the CARES Act, would receive nothing. Okay, would not receive any money. However, people who earn more than $50,000 might get a $1,200 stimulus check, while people that earn less than $50,000 might get a $2,000 check. And people that receive less than $25,000 in a year, they might receive a check for $3,000. So you have a varying level of stimulus payments based on what somebody's earned in the past year or maybe even this year. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. I'm not sure how they'd figure out, but that's my example to you. Again, those aren't facts. Okay, the facts were that they want to give stimulus to the people that need it the most. That's the fact. My take on it is that example of, if you make over 100,000, you get nothing. Make under 50,000, you get 2. Make over 50,000, you only get 1,200. So now do me a favor. I get there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff to take in and digest. However, let me know your thoughts on this. Is $1,200 enough? If you receive $1,200, do you need $1,200 per person in your household? Okay, I just gave you my take. I don't need to comment on it. I just did that my family would not need it. However, if it was issued to us, obviously we would take it. Now, I also want to know, what are your thoughts on how much money would you actually need? Being realistic, don't say $1 million, but how much money would you actually need over the next few months? Whether it's a one-time payment or multiple monthly payments. How much would you need to really be happy with the stimulus checks that they send out? Now, somebody asked me recently, let me read their comment, why do you think the Senate is taking so long to get checks out when people really need them now? I get it, people need their money now. They don't want to work and do all this stuff. Maybe they're not working, but they have all these bills piling up. They would like to take some money and spend it on these bills to get caught up. That's just the way they want to do it. Now, I wanted to answer that today because first and this is something that we already know, this is a fact, the Senate has stated that they are waiting for the jobs reports, they're waiting for virus numbers, they're waiting for the unemployment numbers as well, and even retail spending. All these numbers added up are going to affect what is in the next stimulus package, and ultimately if there will be a second stimulus check. But there is something that I wanted to add to this. Okay, so here's my take on it. Again, this is just my take. This is not a fact. If I were a Republican in the Senate, I would not want to pass a bill that was written by a Democrat. And I wouldn't want to do this because it looks bad on my part. This close to the election, I, as a Republican, again, I'm not saying I'm a Republican, I'm not saying I'm a Democrat, but if I was a Republican in the Senate, myself and whoever else was with me, we would not want the Democrats to hold it over our head that, okay, we were the ones that wrote this bill. We were the ones that gave Americans this much in a second stimulus check. We gave them these, benefits. We gave essential workers their money. We gave people that, for, hazard pay. We gave people on Social Security, all this stuff, right? And let's say we did, student loan forgiveness. All this stuff combined now makes me want to vote more for a Democrat than a Republican if the Democrats wrote, passed, and got that bill out to the people. So me, if I was a Republican in the Senate, I would not want that. So what would I do? I would try to hold it off as long as possible while my team and I rewrite this bill. And I get it, it's going to take longer, it's going to be more work. However, if we want to stay in office, this is kind of what we need to do. We're kind of, buying these votes, right? We're trying to sway votes based on how we pass this bill. So that's my take on it. That's what I think is kind of happening right now. Again, if this was in any other year and it wasn't an election year, I don't think the American people would have to wait for a second stimulus check. And I do believe the phase 4 of the stimulus package would have already been approved, passed, and we would start seeing that money already flowing through the economy. However, it just hasn't happened that way. All right, so now I know one of the things that a lot of people have been asking about because, for example, myself, I've already received a free $1,000 from the US government, and I know you probably can use it too. So what is this free $1,000 and how do I get it? Well, the free $1,000 is from the EIDL grant. Okay, the EIDL grant, and the way you get this is you go to SBA.gov and go and apply. Now, here's what you need to know. This is a grant/loan. Okay, so and if you have a small business, you're an independent contractor, you're self-employed, anything like that, you have a side hustle of some kind, you can apply for this grant slash loan, and you may be approved for the grant, and you may not get any money on the loan. Let me explain that, because it's okay. The best part about this loan is in the application there is a section that says, would you like to be considered for the loan advance? And the cool thing about this is you can be considered for up to $1,000 per employee in a loan advance. That's up to $10,000 because you get up to 10 different employees. Now, let's say it's just you don't have any employees. You are eligible for $1,000 as a loan advance. Now, the best part about this loan is you do not have to repay back the advance. You have to repay the loan, but after you get the advance, you can deny the loan and say, I don't want the loan. I just want the advance. And there you go. You got free $1,000. And all you need is a side hustle. So who qualifies? Anybody that has any gig work, okay? eBay sellers, Uber drivers, anybody with a business will qualify for this free $1,000 EIDL grant money. So go and apply. Now, I know a lot of you guys are still struggling, still looking for ways to make money, make that almighty dollar. How can you do that? Well, I want to help you out again in this video. In the second link in the description box below, I'm going to link to a video where I give you 15 free, okay, these are free, this video is free, but it's 15 quarantine business ideas out where you can start making money from home. So if you want to go and check that out, again, I'll put that link in the description box below. It is the second link down below. But if you have any questions on that, just ask me a question on that video, or if you have questions on this second stimulus check update or stimulus package update, please ask your questions here in this video. But again, thanks for watching this second stimulus check update and stimulus package update for June 24th, 2020. If there's anything that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. All you gotta do, comment down in the comment section below, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out. But again, thanks for watching this video. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys on the next one.